species that can transition sexes can be found on every continent and in every ocean on planet Earth.
Yes, clownfish have been observed changing sex, but human beings do not change sex. That is not a thing that humans have ever done or will ever be able to do. All right, let's put this up on the screen so you can see it. A group of trans activists have put up a giant trans flag at Yosemite National Park. Put up clip 12 there. So they hung it on the famous El Capitan rock formation, and you can see it here. So now we have this giant, hideous thing defacing God's beautiful creation. Imagine you go to Yosemite National Park, all the way out to this rock formation, out in the wilderness, away from the hustle and bustle of daily life, away from all the nonsense and the noise, and you arrive there, and you look up, and you see an enormous trans flag. Even out in the wilderness, you still have LGBT people shoving their nonsense in your face. Even out in the woods. Even out in the woods, you have trans people demanding that you pay attention to them. This is like a much worse version of what happens if you climb Mount Everest these days, as of course I know from extensive experience. But if you climb Mount Everest, you get up 2/3 of the way and there's a line. There's you came all this way to the highest point on Earth, and there's a freaking line you have to wait in. Soon they're going to have a visitor center at the top and like a gift shop and a Dairy Queen. So it's depressing, but this is way worse. So why are they doing this? Well, empty lives, desperate for attention. We know why. But what reason do they give? Here's a guy dressed like a park ranger from somebody's nightmarish acid trip who is going to explain to us why they're doing this. Let's watch.
Some carry hate. We carry the largest trans pride flag to ever be flown in a national park and unfurled it on the side of El Cap to prove a point, that trans is natural. The Trump administration and transphobes would love to have you believe that being trans is unnatural, but species that can transition sexes can be found on every continent and in every ocean on planet Earth. So call it a protest, call it a celebration. We are bringing elevation to liberation. They try to erase us from government websites and education systems and libraries. So we raise this flag higher than ever before so every trans person knows that they have people that love them in their corner. The people united will never be defeated.
I like how the name tag on this guy's wearing says gay, in case you didn't pick up on that, in case you didn't notice. In case there was any confusion, he's gay. Just so you know, that's a gay guy. I mean, you wouldn't have known otherwise. I know when you look at a dude in a park ranger outfit with a mini skirt wearing like more makeup than a Republican woman on Fox News, when you see all that, I know you must be, you think to yourself, well, that guy must be straight. That's straight all day. That's straight if I've ever seen it. But no, it turns out he's gay. So, I know when you see a dude who, it looks like if Kathy Griffin was a character on Yogi Bear, when you see that, you think that's heterosexual. If I know heterosexual, that's what that is. But no, he's gay. So, and honestly, all I could think when I watched this is that I hope this guy is not an actual park ranger. I don't think he is. But I don't know. Can you imagine getting lost in the wilderness and you've been lost for 9 days and and then suddenly this guy shows up to rescue you? Imagine you're huddled around a campfire, and you're starving and this guy emerges from the darkness. You would assume that you have died and you're going to hell. That's what you would assume. That would be your first thought. You would think, okay, this is the demonic entity that has come here to drag me to hell. This is it. This is how it's going to happen. Did you know that over 85% of grass-fed beef sold in the U.S. stores is imported? Luckily, Good Ranchers holds themselves to a higher standard. At GoodRanchers.com, products are 100% born, raised, and harvested right here in the USA from local family farms, so you can rest easy knowing exactly where the meat you're eating comes from. Plus, there are no antibiotics ever, no added hormones, no seed oils, just one simple ingredient you can read, and that's meat. That's it. Best of all, Good Ranchers is tariff-proof due to their 100% American supply chain. So while new tariffs make grocery store prices unpredictable, Good Ranchers stays consistent and predictable, even delivering straight to your door for ultimate convenience. And the best thing about Good Ranchers, as far as I'm concerned, is that It makes me seem like a good chef whenever I make some of the meat from Good Ranchers. Better meat, stable prices, less waste. That's just smarter shopping for you and your family. Lock in a secure supply of American meat at a steady price today and support American farmers and ranchers. Subscribe now at goodranchers.com and get free meat for life and $40 off with code Walsh. That's $40 off plus free meat for life with code Walsh. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered. Anyway, so he says that trans is natural. Now, I've recently addressed this kind of line of argument as it pertains to homosexuality. It's a really bad argument. It's a very dumb argument. Just because something occurs in nature doesn't mean it's acceptable or moral or okay or normal for us to do it as humans. Just because a certain behavior can be observed in the ocean, that doesn't mean that we should model ourselves after it. Okay, your role model in life should not be an octopus or whatever. If you do something and you know, you can't justify it by saying, hey, what's everyone upset about? Hammerhead sharks do it too. Doesn't work. For example, squids are cannibalistic. Is it squids or squid? Is squid the plural of squid? Anyway, so they're cannibals. They eat their own species. And that is acceptable behavior for a squid. But if you get caught at your dining room table chowing down on your neighbor's torso, you're not going to be able to get off the hook by saying, hey, what's the big deal? Squids do it. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Okay, so when a squid is a cannibal, nobody cares. But when I am, everyone's got an issue with it. You're not going to be able to do that. It's not going to be a convincing line of argument. And it especially doesn't work here because, yes, it's true that some species can change their sex. And he puts up on the screen an image of a clownfish as an example of something that can change their sex. And yes, clownfish have been observed changing sex. But human beings do not change sex. That is not a thing that humans have ever done or will ever be able to do. Humans are not clownfish. Clownfish also have gills. They can breathe underwater. We can't do that either. You know what's crazy? Our lives actually don't resemble the lives of clownfish at all. If we were to do Kamala Harris's favorite thing and make a Venn diagram, and we've got humans and clownfish, there's very little that's going to be in that middle little bit. Like, there's not a lot that you're going to find. It's going to be a lot of things. There's not a lot of commonality between humans and clownfish. So, yes, clownfish, and this is one of those things that doesn't really cross over. They do change sex, humans don't. Our whole point about quote-unquote transgenderism isn't exactly that it's unnatural. It's that it's impossible. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing in the human species. Clownfish literally physically change sex, which means that a clownfish with the reproductive capacity of a male can switch and develop the reproductive capacity of a female. This is a survival mechanism in their species. It is not a survival mechanism in ours. Trans people don't do this, even with the help of surgery and drugs and hormones. They still don't do it. There has never been, ever in history, a male human who developed or in any way obtained the reproductive capabilities of a female human, or vice versa. This has never happened, ever. It happens in clownfish, but not in humans. Now, I'll be the first to say, if that did exist, if there was a male human who said, I'm going to transition into a woman, and now suddenly, through some dark magic, actually has the reproductive capacity of a female, can bear children, then I would say that, yeah, okay, well, that's a trans person. The first one. There it is. That's what that would be. But that doesn't exist. It's not a thing in our species. So that's it. And that's why you can take the trans flag down from the cliff there and let everybody enjoy God's creation without your incessant whining. That would be good. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.